Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms. Yesterday, our new equipment building was delivered. It's a 30-foot wide, 60-foot long Quonset hut that's going to set on a block wall. We also got 20 blocks in that are 6 foot long, 2 foot tall, 2 foot wide. The blocks weigh 3,600 pounds apiece. My plan to get these set right and level is to drive fence post in on each end just past where the corner is, then tie a string and get that string level at 2 foot high and put the back edge of the block up against that string, and that'll tell us if we're straight and level. Moving each block is its own ordeal because officially the blocks are over the rated operating capacity of the skid steer. But we all know they'll actually do a little bit more than they're rated for. That's 50% of the tip load or whatever, however they rate that. Anyway, I'm gonna get some posts in the ground and we'll get started moving these blocks. All right, I'm not gonna drive these fence posts very deep really because they're coming back out once this is done. Go down. You're good. Then you can just, think I can just push it? You can just push it. Let's try that. Like anything else, I got better at this the more I did it. And at first, I was setting them down pretty close and pushing them in with the forks. But eventually I got to the point that I could basically swing them into place with the chain and a lot of times get them exactly where we needed them on the first shot. Push it over here. Push it over. Yeah. As you can see, we were getting into a pretty good rhythm and we're able to get the entire first row set in just a couple hours. But the other side took a lot longer because despite my best efforts, it still wasn't flat enough and I had to do some more grading. And I switched from doing it with the skid steer and went back to doing it with the tractor and box blade. So you might have noticed that our block wall is 2 feet away from this trench on this end, and on that end it's almost at the trench. It's because we set up our original spot it was going to go and squared it off and dug our footings, but when we filled those in and then realized we didn't want to set it on those footings and decided to scoot it over, we squared it again, but this time we didn't just square the building, we tried to square it to the other building, and that meant that the whole thing just twisted a little bit like that. So it's intentional that this line doesn't line up with where this trench is at. We've stopped for a minute because at the other end of this there's a little bit of a drop off into that trench where the block's gonna sit. So we need maybe 1 bucket full of clay and shove it down around that before we set the block in so that it's got plenty of material under the backside.
The city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kinda miss this place I used to live back home. 'Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race. What's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life just right like a bonfire.
Still only an inch. Yeah. The first row is all done. It's lined up straight this way. We might have blocks in the center that are an inch higher than the blocks on the outside, but it's very gradual over the 60 feet, and I can live with that. Right now we've got this all graded out from yesterday, but the center of it is probably 2 inches higher than both ends. The 40 or 50 feet in the middle are almost perfectly graded. Then the last 5 feet on each side taper down just a little bit. So we're gonna fill in rock on both sides, and then on the other side of where we graded, there's a hole that it wouldn't really affect putting the building up, but it might as well be filled in. There's a dip on the other side of this. So we're gonna get the tractor and the skid steer both going and get this straightened out. Then we've got our posts set here to run string around so we can start setting in the other blocks. So right now, Brandon's in the tractor spreading the rock, and I'm in the skid steer bringing up dirt. And basically we're both in machines that we don't have much experience running, and I just feel left-handed doing this type of work with it. So I parked the skid steer and took over the tractor and tried to get this graded out before we ran out of daylight. Alright, I've only measured this about 1,000 times, but this is the most critical measurement we've had yet. That in between these raised points on the block and the raised point on the other block, we need 29 feet, 10.5 inches. We're right on where the slope starts?
Yes.
29 feet, 11 inches, so pretty good. Check that side. We've got 30 feet, so there's an extra inch in there. And we'll try to maintain that measurement all the way down. We've got a track that bolts on right here and hangs over this edge, and that's what the wall sets on. The wall is actually 7 inches wide, so I think this is going to work really well right here. This raised area is going to give us something to butt that track up against, so it's in the same place all the way down. I'll have to go down all the block and do this.
That's right.
Alright, so I've went through and measured everything again. The fourth block is setting almost 2 inches high. So I'm going to try to lift it up and pull some rock out from under it. I've measured over here. It feels like we're about 1 inch high here, but for whatever reason, this spot, it could literally just have like one big rock that's kind of holding this spot right here up. So we'll see if we can lift this up and clear it a little. Oh, okay.
That just cleared the whole section out.
Now, keep coming.
Go up, come in.
You're on the wrong side. You got it where you need it to be. Just go down now. We want this to get along. Oh! Down. Down. Yeah, you're good. Just down. And it's too close. You need to lift it up and pull it back.
We can go over there and scoot backwards.
So the next couple things I've got to do is finish the drain line that I ran along that side and extend it down this end and the other end all the way down this slope so that we don't have any problems with water. Then I'm going to add 6 inches of rock to the entire inside area here, fill dirt on both outside areas. So once we've got rock on the inside and dirt on the outside, those blocks aren't going anywhere. They should work as a really good foundation. I'm thinking probably another 4 days. I'm targeting this coming Saturday as a day to actually get the arches stood up. I appreciate you watching. You should see more of our videos right here, and I'll see you next time.